Hello and welcome to the PC Machine Tech Help Show. I'm your host, Craig Chamberlain, and now we've gone through quite a few tips on how to actually optimize your Windows 7 operating system here, and most of them have actually been focusing on memory. Now, I have plenty more tips on processor speeding up and disabling services and things like that, but if you're still having issues with your memory, I do recommend completely disabling Aero, and I've seen a number of ways to do it out there, but I'm going to show you the actual way that you should do it by disabling two services that are actually relied on for that all those Windows Aero effects. So obviously go to your desktop, but if you still are having problems with low memory issues, in the next video I'm going to show you how to find more memory, so if you don't want to disable Aero, but in this I'm going to show you how to properly disable Aero. So go down to the Start button and select it to open it up, and in the search we're going to type in services.msc, and we're going to press enter. Now this is going to bring up a list of Windows services, as you can see. Now there's two services we're interested in disabling. First I'm going to scroll down to the D, and what there is something called the Desktop Window Manager Session Manager. Now this is actually a service that switches between your thumbnail previews when you're alt-tabbing, it switches between your thumbnail previews when you're actually having them on your desktop, and it also handles the transition between your new Windows theme and your older Windows theme from Windows XP in 2000. Now we're not going to need this anymore because we're going to completely disable Aero. So what we're going to do is we're going to click stop the service in the upper left hand corner, and it's going to disable the service, which will also disable our theme. As you can see, it's disabled a lot of the features of it. For those of you who used the tips earlier, it might still look the same, but don't worry, it's disabled a lot of other things you're not even aware of yet. So now that we've disabled that, we're going to right click on it and we're going to select Properties, so that we can actually see the startup type is still set to automatic. We're going to select that and we're going to drop down to disabled. We're going to make sure it's disabled. In the bottom right hand corner, go ahead and select apply. Now we've completely at this point disabled the Aero effects from starting on power up, and we've also disabled them for a local system. That's a pretty much a blanket way of disabling all the visual effects that are with the new Windows operating system. Now after you've done that, we're going to scroll down again to themes. So let's scroll all the way down to T. And then there's a theme service. Now this service obviously handles you being able to use different types of Windows themes and everything. And when we disable this service, it's going to completely transition your system to a a much less pretty version of it, but it's the old Windows XP Vista style menuing system. Now like I said, this is going to give you a great performance increase if you're on a lower memory system, but I usually don't show it until later in the series because you might be happy with it where you're at now. So again, in the upper left hand corner, click stop to stop the service, and as you can see, my visual layout has become more Windows XP and Windows 2000 oriented. And then of course on the right hand, go back to the theme, right click on it and select Properties again, and then we want to make sure that the startup type is set to disable on this as well, and then select Apply, and then select OK, and let's take a look at what we got here. As you can see, it is much less pretty, but obviously you're going to get a performance increase. So that's all there is to this video. That's how you properly disable the Aero effects. I know a lot of people will go through the Windows theme service and set the theme to Windows 7 Basic, and that is an easier way to do it, and that's one way to do it. But really, what you should do is you should disable those two services because you're not going to be using the themes. So you're going to save processing power and memory if you do it this way. So thanks for stopping by. As always, thumbs up if you liked it, and stay tuned. I do have more speed tips to come. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to find memory for your computer, because if you wanted to keep your theme running, then you're going to need to get more memory, because you should have at least 2 gigabytes for Windows 7 if you're going to use the theme. So thanks again.